Hey guys, it's me again. I can't believe I'm actually jumping on to do a Facebook Live 2 days in a row after basically an entire year of being totally MIA. I mean, truth be told, 2020, like most people, I was like deep in an emotional process, which I will do a live about soon because so many profound life realizations came through at the tail end of 2020, which I know will be massive, massive value when I share it with people. But that's not what today's video is about. Today, I feel really inspired to share a message about fulfilling your life purpose because I see so many people who are living very unfulfilled lives. They're going to their 9 to 5 jobs that they know, and they're not happy and they're not feeling fulfilled. They're not doing what they feel is in alignment of their soul, yet they're still doing it because I guess they don't realize that they have any other choice. Now, I really want to share my experience because I can tell you with total and complete integrity and truth that in this present moment in my life, I am living my life purpose. And it is such an insanely amazing, incredibly fulfilling experience, which, if I'm totally honest with you, 6 years ago, if you had told me that I'd be living my life purpose today, I would not have believed you. Like, the journey that I've been on from where I was then to where I am now, like, I never in a million years would have guessed. But when I look back, I can see all the dots. I can see how they all connect, and I can totally see how I've got here, like, to where I am today. And I almost feel like there's a formula to it. And that's why I really want to share this with people who currently don't feel like you're living your life purpose. I'm here to be a stand for the truth that living your life purpose, and you do have a life purpose, everybody has a life purpose. You do have a life purpose, and it's within reach. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what sort of my journey is. I can see Sarah just gave me a bit of a love there. Thanks, Sarah. I just got off a really powerful call with her. I think that's why I'm feeling so inspired to share this message. So there was a time when I was working in a 9 to 5 job. I was selling car insurance, and I was working there for 5 years. And honestly, there was a period there where I loved the job. Like, I was really quite good at it. I loved it. I loved it so much that, to be honest with you, I really thought that I was going to be there for my whole life. I literally had a vision in my head of being 60 years old with a headset on, still selling car insurance. Like, I really believed that was my life, which is fine. Maybe that is what some people's life purpose is, and that's totally fine. And I believed kind of that's what it was. Not that I really put too much thought into life purpose back then anyway, but anyway, I did love that job for quite a while, but after 5 years, it kind of got to a point where I actually became really, really deeply unfulfilled. I just got back from an 8-month overseas trip. I was volunteering with the homeless dogs. I was working with the children. I was doing all sorts of stuff. And I started to really experience what it's like to live a life with purpose, with fulfillment, making an impact, making a difference. And after getting a taste of that when I was traveling for 8 months, I came back to my 9 to 5 job, realizing that selling car insurance wasn't fulfilling. I wasn't having an impact. I felt like I wasn't making a difference. And so when I realized, that, when I had a taste of what life could be like, came back to my job and realized that I wasn't getting the fulfillment that I knew was possible, I fell into a really, really deep depression. So I was so depressed at that job by the end of it that I was literally crying every single day. I was driving to work totally miserable. I was listening to like motivational videos on YouTube just to mentally prepare myself for another day. I distinctly remember driving to work wishing that I would get T-boned by a car. Like, I didn't want to live another day. I was so miserable. I was wishing that I would get diagnosed with terminal cancer. Like, that's how much I was just so deeply unfulfilled, so unhappy, and I just did not see the point in life. Doing a 9 to 5 job, selling car insurance. Like, what is the point? And it just got to a point where I just had enough. Like, I just felt like I could not live another day feeling this deep sense of dread. And so I set out the intention to the universe, like whether you're spiritual, believe in, the universe, a higher power, God, whatever you want to call it, it's fine. I personally call it the universe. So I set out the intention to the universe that I wanted a way to earn an income whilst, from my laptop whilst traveling the world. That was the intention I set out. Now, literally, like no joke, the very next day when I was driving to work, feeling miserable, listening to motivational videos on YouTube to once again mentally prepare myself for another day at work, selling car insurance, a video came on YouTube, and it was an ad. And it was an ad that I'd heard before, but I always skipped the ad. But for some reason, on this particular morning, I listened to the whole ad through. And it was two girls around my age describing exactly what I was going through in that point in my life, feeling totally miserable, totally unfulfilled, going to a 9-to-5 job, longing for a way to earn an income from a laptop, living a life of fulfillment, impact, volunteering, overseas, which is something that I really wanted to do because of what I just experienced overseas myself. So they were speaking directly to my experience at the time, and they said they found the answer. So I'm like, oh my God, what's the answer? And I'm sure we've all heard ads on YouTube, like with similar concepts, live the laptop lifestyle, whatever. So it was one of those. And, they told me the answer. It was like this online, it was like an online education that teaches you how to build, market, and scale an online business. And literally I think it was 4 or 5 days after hearing that ad, I quit my job. This is a job that I had for 5 years, that for the longest time, I thought I was going to be there for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to be 60 years old selling car insurance. But I heard that ad and I quit my job 5 days later. Now, mind you, I quit my job when I was $10,000 in debt. I had all these bills. Everyone in my life is saying, don't do it. It's not a wise decision. You need that regular income. You should keep working until you find another job, or you should keep working until you make this laptop lifestyle thing work. Everyone in your life telling you what you should and what you shouldn't do, with all the logic kind of stuff. But, I was so depressed and so miserable that, I simply wasn't, working another day in that 9-to-5 job was not an option. I would have rather starved and lived on the street by that point in my life. So I quit my job 5 days later. And, it wasn't obviously, I joined this online program that teaches you how to build, market, and scale an online business. And my intention at the time was to use this education to market the education. And basically you get a commission for selling the education. That was my intention. But, I feel like things never seem to play out the way that you envision they will, right? Things play out even better than you can possibly imagine. So I joined this education, and for the longest time I was extremely broke. I barely had money to eat. So it wasn't like, I quit my job and then suddenly I'm living this luxurious, laptop lifestyle. No, I was broke for a long time. I was getting more and more into debt and, really trying to make this laptop lifestyle thing work. And, it appeared, I guess, from the outside perspective that I should have listened to what everyone said. You should stay in that job. You should find another job. All the stuff that everyone said, it appeared in my reality that they were right. But forget that shit. I just kept on at my journey trying to make this laptop lifestyle work. And surely enough, eventually an opportunity came my way where I had the opportunity to be the personal assistant for one of the top mentors within this community. So I got to be I was hired as his personal assistant. So within a year or maybe a little bit, maybe 8 months, I think it was around 8 months since setting the intention, I want a way to earn an income from my laptop and travel the world. I quit my job 5 days later after seeing that YouTube ad, and then maybe 8 months of being broke or having no money. I end up in this job where I am earning an income from my laptop and I have the geographical freedom. So I'm working, I'm the personal assistant for this amazing man for a period of time, living the laptop lifestyle. And once again, I've just lost my train of thought. Oh, that's right. Okay, great. This is the exciting part of the story. So I'm working for him for a period of time. Now, this is great because being on this journey, choosing to be part of this community, this online education community, this is when I first discovered personal development. And I started to really get into personal development, personal growth, all the different personal development gurus out there and whatever. And because I was on this personal development journey, I started connecting with other people who were also on this journey. And I ended up meeting up with this girl we met up for dinner because we noticed we're both on a similar journey. And over dinner, this $20 dinner with this girl ended up turning into a $30,000 investment. And the reason that is because, we went out for dinner together and she was telling me about how she had, recently qualified. She recently got her qualifications in NLP, hypnotherapy, timeline therapy. She also did a 10-week mind, body, spirit transformation program. And I was just so inspired by everything she said. I left that dinner. I invested $30,000 in my personal development, in all the things that she said. Now, mind you, I did not have this money. I put all of this money on my credit card. Like, this was total credit card investment. And once again, everyone in my life is saying, don't do it. That's stupid. You should save the money first. You should, you should pay it with cash. You shouldn't get yourself into more debt, because I was already in a lot of debt. Telling you, all of these things, right? But once again, screw that shit. I'm just going to continue to do what feels true to me. So invested that $30,000, that wasn't even mine, it was the bank's money, into getting my qualifications in NLP, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy. Now, mind you, when I did those qualifications, it wasn't even a thought in my mind that I would use it as a profession. I just purely, I just wanted it for my personal development, because I heard learning about NLP, learning about the unconscious mind really helps with your personal development. So that was I just wanted for my personal growth. But what ended up unfolding was through me going through that course and me tangibly experiencing firsthand how absolutely transformational and incredible timeline therapy, NLP, hypnotherapy is. When I experienced it for myself, I realized, like, more people need to know about this. Like, and it was so aligned. Like, all the stuff that I was learning, like, I guess it was one of those moments when I looked back at my life and I started connecting the dots and realizing that everything in my life made sense, because I had always felt there was always something within me that was very much aligned with all the concepts that you learn in NLP and timeline therapy. Because, I mean, I went to university and I studied psychology because, like, I am interested in helping people. I've always been interested in helping people in this way. But I dropped out of psychology, which once again was another decision that everyone was like, don't do that, you should finish your degree, whatever. But I didn't finish my degree because it didn't feel true to me. Like, I knew I wanted to help people, but the stuff I was learning in my psychology degree didn't feel totally aligned. But when I studied NLP, timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, I realized it was what I'd always been looking for. It was being able to help people, but in the way that I felt was true to me. And so I walked out of that course as a qualified master timeline therapist, hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner. Next thing I know, like, I am now living the laptop lifestyle, helping people. Like, I literally I earn a living by changing people's lives. Like, this, if I think back to myself 6 years ago, whenever it was, being totally depressed in the car, like literally crying every single day, wishing that I would get diagnosed with terminal cancer, get T-boned by a car. If I remember back to when I was back then, never in a million years did I realize that I would be where I am today, literally earning an income, changing people's lives. Like, that is insanity. And the only reason this is possible is because I made these big decisions throughout my life, and they were decisions that everyone in my life was saying, don't do it, that's stupid, you should save money, don't take that risk, it's too risky. And And even like the fact that I dropped out of university, like even till this day, there are people in my life who are saying you should go back to uni, you should finish your degree. Like seriously, look at the life that I'm living right now. I wouldn't change it for the world, and I'm so grateful. I am so deeply grateful that I got to a point at my 9 to 5 job selling car insurance. I'm so grateful that I got to the point that I was so depressed that I was crying every day, dreading another day at work. Like if I wasn't pushed to that absolute edge where I would rather be dead, that's how I felt. If I wasn't pushed to that point, then I wouldn't have made such a big decision to just quit my job straight off, just from watching a simple YouTube ad, despite everyone discouraging me. And then eventually, coming to the place that I am today. And, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Like there's been, between the time when I quit my job and, where I am today, there's been many times when I couldn't afford food, and I've been, spent many times not being able to pay my bills and getting into debt. Spent a lot of time in credit card debt, as you can imagine. But I wouldn't change a thing because, where I am right now, it's totally perfect. And like, I really want this to be a message to other people who currently don't feel like you're living your life purpose. You're not feeling fulfilled. You're working a 9 to 5 job that you don't enjoy. You would rather be dead. Like if you feel like you would rather be dead, something needs to change, because life gets to be fun. Life gets to be fulfilling. Life, you get to live a life of purpose. You get to feel like you're making an impact in this world. That's within reach of everyone. And I know there's people that look at others that are living like this extraordinary life of impact, and you look at them and you think, wow, I'll never achieve that. They've got something that I don't have. But that is a total different way to perceive it. And this is a big flip in perspective that I've had on my journey. I used to look at myself and I used to compare myself to others and think, I used to think less of myself. I used to think, oh, they've got something that I don't have. But actually, the truth is that they're just a reflection of what we have within us. You see someone who is living the laptop lifestyle. If they're living the laptop lifestyle, that means that it's possible. That means that you have that within you. That should awaken the dormant DNA within you, realizing that you can live that life. What's separating you from the life that they're living is just the fact that they chose themselves, the fact that they took that plunge, the fact that they didn't allow the people around them dictate their future. Okay, so the biggest message that I want to really pass on to you all is you can 100% live a life that is truly within alignment and is fulfilling. And the key to that is ignore everyone that is telling you can't do it, okay? They're telling you that because they don't believe that they can do it. And they're projecting their limiting beliefs on you. But that's not the truth. You can do it. So take bold actions, and you don't need to know the bigger picture. You just got to take it one step at a time. Like I said to you, when I quit my job, my intention was just to when I quit my job and joined this online education, my initial intention was to sell the education, but I never ended up selling the education. It was just the step I needed to take to introduce me to personal development, to get into the timeline therapy, NLP stuff, to now be a qualified timeline therapy coach, which is like my purpose in life. So just take it one step at a time. You don't need to know all the steps. You don't need to know where you're going, because as long as you continue to follow your heart, you will go exactly where you need to go. All right, so I think I've said everything that I need to say. I feel like there's going to be a few videos coming up because I've just been feeling so insanely inspired lately. I feel like I'm on fire because so many things have been dropping in where I've just had realized life makes sense. Life makes sense right now. There's been so many moments where I'm looking back at my life, I'm connecting the dots, and I'm just seeing so much potential in every waking moment. And this is what's available to every single one of us. And I'm going to be doing more videos of this because I want to be awakening this kind of stuff in all of us so we can all rise together. All right, so That's all from me, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.